Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch channel on YouTube, also at overwatchproject.com. This video is about reincarnation, and so we have all this evidence for it. There's no doubt that it happens if you honestly look at all the data about it. And there's been a lot of research done on it, even scientific research. And some scientists have had their minds changed. They went in trying to disprove it and have come out saying, no, it actually happens. And when you have cases like some of the cases that are so profound, like the near-death experience, there's no doubt that it happens. Why does it happen? Well, you could look into philosophies and belief systems to try to find the answer to that, or you could try to use the data itself to try to explain it, which is what I try to do, is let the data speak for itself. I posted this video a while ago from Dr. Robert Almeida from Georgia State University. I'll link to it again. It's in my uploads, but I'll link to it below in the description section, along with all the other links that you see here that I'm going through as I talk to you. Reincarnation is explained as our reality is like a learning school. That's what it really boils down to. So you have these philosophies that try to attribute some type of meaning that is valuable to us personally through reincarnation. So if you look at some of the modern day info about it that's come out through either out-of-body experience research or through hypnotherapy and regression therapy, like Michael Newton's work, you'll find that they even talk about people that have been reincarnated thousands of times. And these people like William Bowman and Newton and others, they will say that this is like a learning school, right, for our spirit, for our soul, or whatever, to continuously do that. But I have to disagree because it doesn't make any sense. Now, when I started doing my research, I had to deal with my indoctrinated system of beliefs that I was born into. And you go through this process. You can't really blame people for trying to make information fit things. I did it myself, so I can't blame other people for doing the same thing I did. It took me years and years to try to free my thinking and just focus on the information. And when you have this information in front of you and you realize that it's real, and then you have to try to make sense of it, of course you're going to try to find answers. Does anybody else have the answer? Now, systems of philosophy like Buddhism, which most Buddhists do not consider their system like a belief, a religion. They consider it more of a philosophy and a model of reality, which Buddhism is the only one that actually comes close to some model that makes sense. Although they do have their dogmas, so they do sort of behave like a religion. But the early Christians also believed in reincarnation or had knowledge of it. So it's very interesting that around 324 AD, Christianity, I believe, was completely obliterated by the state when it took it over and turned into a state religion. And then it was whatever happened before 324 AD, a lot of stuff is lost. We don't know. But we do know things like Origen and wrote about reincarnation, and so there's corruption that goes on in these philosophies and religions. But Buddhism, of course, is a philosophy that is based on getting an enlightenment or getting your information yourself. So you're not really dependent on people telling you what to think. You're supposed to be able to figure it out through enlightenment, which is interesting concept there. I try to figure it out through investigation and observation and processing all the data. But here's the thing about reincarnation. So let's take Bowman and Newton, okay, at their word that some people have been reincarnated thousands of times. Now, they with a straight face will look at you and say, "It's a learning experience. It's a learning. We're here to learn. We're here to experience." Blah blah blah. So, I want to ask you a question. First, I hope some of you have seen the show Blind Spot, but it's a very interesting drama where the main character. She has amnesia that's given to her through a drug called Zip, and she can't remember anything really. She has some flashbacks after a long time, many years of having the amnesia now, a couple seasons into the show, but she doesn't have recollection. She comes out in the beginning of the show with complete amnesia. And of course, there's no. It's done for a different purpose, but let's just take the basic concept here and run with it. So you finish 4 years of high school, and as an example, and you come out. You maybe have an average grades. You could have done things better. So you get asked, "Couldn't you have done this better?" And you say, "Yeah, I could have done better in high school." Oh, great. Let's inject you with Zip. We'll give you complete amnesia so you don't remember anything, and then we'll throw you back into high school over and over and over again when you come out. Now, wouldn't it make more sense if when you get done with high school and you have an opportunity to say, it's a hypothetical mind experiment. So when you go back for the 4 years do-over, you actually regress in age 4 years. It's just a hypothetical mind experiment I'm doing here. When you go back to freshman year in high school, you get to keep your memories and do the whole thing over again. Now, which one would actually benefit you as a learning experience? The one where they give you complete blank out amnesia, or the one where you go back and do it over again with the knowledge that you brought from the last 4 years? Of course, you would have a learning, a schooling, and ability to advance experience when you go back and do something over again with all the knowledge of all your mistakes or your memories intact. But if you get thrown back into the system with amnesia, how are you learning anything? You can't be, right? It's ridiculous. Now, let's say that, let's take, for example, this claim of being reincarnated thousands of times. That is the worst. If you're going to call this a school or a way for spirits to learn things, that is the worst school in existence, is it not? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. If you can't learn something in lifetimes 1,000 times, you're never going to learn it. It's more likely that the whole system here is some type of matrix reality, and we're simply recycled here to keep us dumbed down. If you die, you ascend to a, I hate to use the terms that come out of some of these New Age philosophies and stuff like that, and I don't want to use these terms like astral plane, but I got no other words to use. Everybody knows what that kind of means. So you ascend to, let's say, a higher realm, the first one you come to, and then you think you're in heaven or wherever your religion says you're supposed to go, and then you get a life review and karma, etc., blah, 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 however they make it fit for you, and then you're recycled back into Earth for another turn. Well, and, maybe you get to pick where you go, maybe you don't. I don't see anybody choosing to go to be born in squalor in some totalitarian regime country where you're told that your dictator is your god your whole life. Learning experience. Or some religion where they're going to strap a bomb to you at 10 years old and send you out to do damage. What learning experience are they talking about? These people speak in a vacuum. They go to these places like, the pretty buildings where they have their seminars, and they have a lot of great information. It's their interpretations that I have a problem with. So you go to the Monroe Institute and you stay in a nice luxury hotel and you pay your money and you have your classes and all that. And it's something I may want to do. I would love to have an OBE to see it for myself. I have a hard time meditating, folks. I have a hard time quieting my mind. It doesn't quiet easily. And I would love to have experienced something like this at least once so I could just witness it for myself. These people that have these experiences, some people it comes easy to, other people it doesn't. And some people do remember some of their past lives. These are glitches in the system, by the way. So you have children, and when there's a lot of cases out there where a child will remember for a while, remember their past life, and sometimes in extremely great detail. So these cases are profound. There's research from the Division of Perceptual Studies in Virginia. There's Ian Stevenson's work. There's the ancient people apparently knew about this. Early Christians before the takeover of that philosophy by the state. Buddhists, of course, today. Other religions believe in reincarnation philosophies like Buddhism. But it's not about the reincarnation. The reincarnation is provable beyond any doubt. It's the what does it mean thing. And mostly everybody out there wants to give you this answer. It means something great. It's good. And I don't think it is, not the way that it's being done to us. Perhaps because there's lost history. If you look at the works of Graham Hancock and other researchers, there's a great deal of lost history. Perhaps humanity was different and something came along and corrupted our existence and invaded our system. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's so much lost information in history that we can never unravel that mess without more information. So that we don't have. So that's it. I just wanted to point out that this notion that this is a school, or as Bowman points out, or this is the life after life, never-ending school. Never ends. Which makes it a bad school, does it not? I'll link to everything that you see, all these tabs in the description section below, so you can check out the information for yourselves. And this is just the tip of the iceberg here of all the information available. There's so much more out there that I've come across and studied over the years. And hopefully you'll do your own research, because the only way you can really see the truth is by actually looking at it yourself. Take care. Have a good day or good night, or whenever you happen to be watching this. And I'll be back later for more videos. On my website, I did put up something new. I'm going to start using it. It's kind of like a blog, but it's more like a feed. So when I come across something interesting, I just note it here in case you want to check it out. All right, take care. Bye.